Is atheism a religion? Hi, my name is Rabbi Shmuel Kopel, and I'm about to delve into a really interesting topic. Is atheism a religion? Now, before I jump into this topic, I want to tell you that in my experience, this is an extremely hot topic. Every time I mention the concept, I get a lot of people yelling at me, atheists who think that I'm somehow bigoted against atheists, people who are religious who are telling me that, you went too far. So I am expecting a lot of hot emotion on this video, but only thing I ask is that you watch the whole thing. Please don't try to comment on the video when you only watch the quarter. I'm going to go through all the details, many details, and you will find it extremely interesting, whether you're an atheist or whether you are part of a religion. But before I do that, I want to ask you one small favor. Below this video, there is a link to subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, I'm asking you personally, please hit that button. It'll make me feel really good. And if you click the bell that will appear after you hit subscribe, you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, if you dare to think, let's try to understand, is atheism a religion? First thing we need to know, what is a religion? Now, the word religion very often is connected to the word ritual, okay? Which means that there's some type of rituals that are being done by many people. Now, while that is true, I guess, in that definition, obviously atheism doesn't have a general ritual. There's no one ritual that is done by all atheists. However, the word religion has morphed into something much more than ritual. A simple example, in the United States, there are many parents that believe that injections will cause autism. Okay, just as a side point, I have a son that's autistic, and my wife is extremely against injections, and my son was diagnosed autistic before he had an injection. So I don't know. It could still be that injections cause autism, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Just telling you a fact. I don't know how I got into that side point. It has nothing to do with this. The point is that many parents who are going to schools that require people to be vaccinated will come and say that I'm not vaccinating because a religious belief. The word religion and belief are kind of being used together. When you say the word religion, you're thinking of a belief that does not have hardcore rational logic to base that belief on. That's generally the way it's being used today. The word religion means that you have a belief system that is not based on any logical proof whatsoever. Okay? Now, that being said, perhaps atheism is a belief that is not based on logic. Now, I'm not saying that that's a fact yet. Calm down, but let's think about it. Okay, the word atheism is also very important to define. Many people get confused. You have no idea how many people come to me, and within a 5-minute conversation, after telling me I'm atheist, after 5 minutes, all of a sudden, I show them that you just don't know what atheism is. And I'm going to give you a few examples if you hold on. Okay? Now, the word atheism, I'm actually quoting dictionary.com. It's a very commonly used source of dictionaries. They have a few different definitions and they quote other dictionaries as well. But I'm just going to take the top 2 definitions. Definition number 1 of atheism, the doctrine or belief that there is no God. That's number 1. Number 2 is the disbelief in the existence of a supreme being or beings. Okay, an atheist, in the true sense of the word, decided that there is nothing beyond the reality that we see. Okay, there's no supreme beings, there's no God, there's no nothing beyond what we see. That is atheism. Could you prove that? Is there any logical reason to indicate that there's definitely not a God and there's not any supreme being beyond what we see? Perhaps there's some wild alien out there that has powers that we don't know about. Perhaps there is a totally different dimension of power and existence and consciousness that we've never bumped into. There is no way of knowing that there is no such thing out there. Okay? As a matter of fact, many people in the science world today believe that there is more indication to believe that there is the paranormal. There is more indication to say there is something out there, whatever it is. There's more indication logically that that does exist than that doesn't exist. Okay? An atheist is basically saying, I know what's somewhere that I don't know about. What? That doesn't make sense. Think about it. There's somewhere that I don't know about. What I tell atheists, the first thing I say, do you know everything? And if they say no, which most of them do, right? I tell them, well, if there's something that you don't know, then maybe the God or the supreme being is in that area that you don't yet know about. Of course, if they tell me that, yes, I know everything, I say, cool, what's happening tomorrow? And then they can't say it, and so they don't know everything. No one knows everything, and therefore, an atheist, by definition, is a religious belief because there is no foundation in logic to say that there's nothing out there, to believe that there's nothing out there. Now, I will tell you, before you get nervous, if you're an atheist, before you get nervous, I will tell you two common mistakes that I have seen a lot in my experience. Mistake number one. Many people tell me, well, I'm an atheist, but maybe there is a God, maybe there isn't, I don't know. That is a big mistake. You're not an atheist. If you are not sure whether there is a supreme being or not, you are not an atheist. You are what's called an agnostic. Okay, using the same dictionary.com, I'm going to read you the three definitions of an agnostic. Definition number one, a person who holds that the existence of the ultimate cause as God and the essential nature of things are unknown and unknowable, or that human knowledge is limited to experience. That's number one. Number two, a person who denies or doubts the possibility of ultimate knowledge in some area of study. And three is a person who holds neither of two opposing positions on a topic. So agnostic basically means that you don't have a position on a particular topic. And in reference to God or a supreme being, if you are not sure whether or not there's a supreme being, then you are agnostic. If you are agnostic, you don't necessarily have a religious belief, because it's not a religious belief to say, I don't know. That you don't know. If you don't know, you can say, I don't know. That's a knowledge. That's not a guess, and that's not a religion. But if you say, I know that something doesn't exist, when you can't know that, that is a religious belief. So yes, atheism is a religious belief that nothing exists. If you're going to tell me that perhaps something does exist, you are not an atheist. You are an agnostic. That is mistake number one. Another very interesting mistake that a lot of people make is that many people tell me, I'm atheist because I know that there's something greater out there, but I don't know what it is. And that is a big mistake if you're calling yourself atheist, because number one, if you saying that you believe strongly that there is an existence out there, you're not an atheist, you're not even an agnostic. You are a theist, right? You're a theist, not atheist, meaning in one word, but you are like A is one word, and then theist. You are a theist, right? And you can tell, what do you mean I'm a theist? I'm not religious. No, if you believe that there is something out there greater than what we know, you are a theist. What I would call you is an undefined theist. You're saying that there's something out there, but you are not making judgment and you are not deciding what is out there and what is not out there. So Again, if a person is Christian, so they are a theist, yeah, of course they're theist, but they're theist, they're a defined theist. They have a definition of what their deity, the word theism comes from the word deity. They believe in a specific deity. If you don't believe in a specific deity, but you do feel there is a power, there is an existence beyond our reality, you are what I would call an undefined theist, right? So many atheists don't even realize that they're not an atheist and they're not even agnostic, but they're an undefined theist. Okay, that is one thing. Number two is many agnostics call themselves atheists because they think that that's what atheism is, but they just haven't looked up the definition in the dictionary. Okay, so that's another thing. If a person is truly atheist, which means they make a determination that there is nothing beyond, there is no logical way, at least known to me, and if you have a logical way, please put it down in the bottom. If you have a logical way of knowing that there is no greater power out there that we haven't yet discovered, please let me know, because I don't think that that exists, and I've never heard an argument to say that no such power exists, right? All that people argue is that we haven't yet discovered that. And I personally will argue with you because I think we have discovered that. In my personal experience, where I studied Kabbalistic teachings and many deep spiritual teachings as well, I have come to an absolute conviction conclusively that we do have a connection and experience and logically, rationally connect to a higher being. But that is for another video. This video, again, we're focused on atheism, and in reality, atheism is a religious belief. I hate to tell it to atheists, but many atheists get very nervous. But what I'm hoping you'll realize, based on what I said, that if you used to call yourself an atheist, you probably realize now that you're not. You're either an agnostic or an undefined theist. Okay? If you are a real atheist, that is a religious belief. Now, I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. I hope you comment and tell me what you think. If you agree, then tell me why you agree. If you disagree, tell me why you disagree. A common thread that I've put out there is, why do atheists get so offended when you insult their religion? If you've seen that question out there, oh, I had so many problems. They curse me out and they try to block me and all that stuff. The reason why I asked that question is because I want people to actually learn what atheism is. Okay, it is a religious belief, right? The only thing is that most atheists, they are so against religion that they can't associate themselves as an equal to a religious partner. The problem is that if you either are equal to your religious partner, where the religious partner is just randomly assuming something and you're randomly assuming something, that's either the truth or you're not a real atheist. Because if you are a real atheist, your religious assumptions is seemingly the same thing as any other religion that just guessed an idea and said that it's true, right? Whereas if you're not religious, if you're truly rational thinker, you're either an agnostic or an undefined theist. If you haven't yet done it, please do me a favor. Click the link below that says subscribe. And once you hit subscribe, there's a bell that will come up. Click the bell and you'll be notified every time I see a new video. Waiting to see your comments below. And by the way, just throw it in there. There is a share button there as well, where if you click the share button, you could then share it to other people. If you like my videos, please do that as well. Looking forward to seeing you again next time.